Okay, let's get going.
And colleagues, attendees.
Okay, so we're going to start. Andy is here, so he will give an introduction of himself.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. Today will be a very 101 session about cryptocurrency. And I do not want to waste too much time talking about myself. So, I'm in the space since 2017. I'm part of a global exchange called Big One. We are the top 50 right now globally. We have a volume of about 500 mil every 24 hours. I started the journey in 2017, with my own project, subsequently advising different governments, and I was the blockchain advisor to a UN-like organization called Asian Productivity Organization, and I was also formerly the advisory board for Hyundai DAC. So yeah, it's okay. Let's move. So the very basic question is, what is cryptocurrency? So let's walk through some of the slides, that we have. That's good. So the very basic thing that I want to talk about today is what is cryptocurrency. So typically it is a digital or virtual currency. So many of us will think that, virtual currency, what do you mean? What can it do, and so forth. I will touch on it a bit more later on, but I want to especially mention three different terms that we are using it on a very common basis. So it's cryptocurrency, blockchain, and decentralized finance. So all these things seems to be a bit alien, maybe a bit distant from everybody. Sometimes, they do not really know what's the exact meaning, how it operates, and so forth. Again, in the next half an hour, I'm going to let you know more about the whole structure on how these things is going to work, what are the more popular cryptocurrency, what are the more popular exchanges, and so forth. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So the first thing to explain is what is decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is DeFi. So they will say that it's an emerging financial technology based on secure distributed ledger. And the core basis of it is still working on cryptocurrency. The system removes bank control institutions. Again, this is subjective. It depends on how you're going to look at it. Ultimately, at the very beginning of the whole DeFi process is that you need to have cryptocurrency.
Can you get into no sound?
Ricky, I'm going to mute you.
Okay, check if
Oh, he can't hear.
You can't hear?
He can't hear.
Check whether
Can you hear?
PC
Okay.
can hear.
Okay.
Ricky didn't pay his Wi-Fi.
Or whether
Bills,
people like
can you-
carols.
Yeah, we are just going to check now to see whether those have been.
But it's okay.
Check with Roland, can you hear?
Roland,
Roland, can you hear?
No, he's mute.
Yeah, I can hear Ricky. It's either you are not on your microphone or you are on your speaker mode or something like that. So it's either microphone or your headset. So you reset that Right, all of us can hear anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, we continue.
So don't worry, we will continue to do this. And so the core purpose of the DeFi, when they say, you are going to get rid of banks and so forth, yes, it's true to some extent. But right at the very beginning, how are you going to get the cryptocurrency? You still need to, convert your fiat to crypto, and then from there you make the transaction, right? So again, it depends on how you look at the whole term. But eventually, what we hope in the crypto space from a decentralized finance perspective is that we try to eliminate the fees that the banks and other financial companies are charging. So whatever that they are charging, ideally in a DeFi environment, it should be redistributed as a form of rewards, for example, to some of these users. And then, of course, you will always say that you hold your money in a secure digital wallet instead of keeping it in a bank. Again, it can be subjective, happy to take on questions, all right? And last but not least, you can transfer funds in seconds and minutes. That's also 100% true, but as long as you stay in crypto, it's actually very fast. Yeah, don't worry. So blockchain is actually the underlying technology behind a lot of things that we have been talking about, in the last few minutes. And of course, the more prominent things when we talk about this blockchain is how it works, how it is being derived, right? So I think that the easier manner to say is blockchain organized information, all right? And then it adds to a ledger, and then into the blocks, and that's how a very simple blockchain explanation can be done. So all the information that's on the individual block cannot be changed. If you really want to change every information, maybe you need to change every single block that is being distributed with that same information. So again, being very unique with each block, it is harder to hack. Some of our friends will say it's impossible to hack. And alongside with that, there are also a lot of other good advantages when we talk about blockchain technology. Again, we can take on some questions later on, and I will also explain further. Yeah. So the most common chain right now, in the space, I like to say that is Binance, Ethereum, and Solana, right? So BNB is the token, the maybe platform token that comes with Binance. It's called BNB. It's ERC20, it's BEP2, BEP20, BEP8. That kind of standard is within that group itself. Then of course there's Ethereum, there is SOL. They are all forming their own ecosystem right now. I would still like to say that Ethereum is still the most widely used blockchain, in terms of transactional volume. In terms of maybe transactional count, Binance and maybe Tron, for example, they will have a lot more volume in that sense. Yeah. So again, Binance chain, usually we call it BSC, all right? It's developed by Binance. They have a very strong decentralized platform within the BSC framework. They are very strong decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap. That is a leading DEX right now in the BSC network. It actually uses the Ethereum virtual machine as their core base, and the high speed and the lower fees are actually added on advantage as compared to the Ethereum chain itself. And then BNB is the utility token, the platform token within the whole ecosystem. It is used to pay for transactional fees, on the DEX, use it for staking, and the same ecosystem, you can use it to run smart contracts. You can use it as a form of rewards to some of your users. So this is a very, very, very simple, non-technical way to explain what BNB is all about. Then Ethereum is one of the oldest, more reliable in terms of technology. It's a truly decentralized blockchain that's comparable to the Bitcoin network. It builds on a network of computers, in a decentralized manner. It can also be built onto different dApps, DApps. It offers more security. It has a very big community base, globally, where if you have any problems with Ethereum, all you need to do is to ask some questions. They are very responsive, Unlike a lot of other chains that offer a lot of good things, for example, but they are never that responsive because their community is not as huge and enthusiastic, compared to Ethereum. All right. So again, we call it Ether, ETH, ETH, it's a native token. The token is also smart contract enabled, and most of the ETH-based tokens are built on the ERC20 standard. And Ethereum smart chain, Ethereum smart contract are one of the very first basis of the whole cryptocurrency scene. They are one of the first few that comes out with very helpful smart contracts. A lot of enterprise grade projects or private chain and so forth, they are all still using Ethereum. So this is next one is SOL. They prioritize fast transaction in a trustless system. It uses the POS and POH, which is a proof of history model. So POS validator, they will verify the transaction accordingly to how many coins they hold, while POH allows for those transactions to be timestamped and verified more quickly. Transactional speed is 50,000 transactions per second, and the fees are significantly lower than Ethereum. That's 100% for sure. Yeah. So most people will ask, what is a coin, and what is a token? It is being used in a very loosely interchangeable manner, but I would like to define it as in a coin. It includes things like Bitcoin and Lcoin, this Bitcoin currency, while a token is more programmable, that live within the blockchain on a given platform. For example, SOL, or for example, a Tron, for example. Yeah. So again, if you look at the kind of benefits or characteristics, whether it's a coin or a token, coin, usually you are talking about things that are built within your own blockchain, intended to be a form of currency. And whereas a token, it is built on an existing blockchain, not considered currency, but rather than programmable asset. So tokens can be represented in units of value, including like real world items like electricity, the electricity-backed token, digital asset, some of the NFTs and so forth. They're all classified under the token category. So when we talk about cryptocurrency, altcoins are one of the key things that comes in mind, right? So the reason why all the altcoins are here, in the current time, is that they want to have a certain way to build and beat Bitcoin. They are built in a way that they can increase the efficiency of some of the core coins. Again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so forth. They have a limited supply of coins to create a demand and reinforce a certain perceived value. Most of it are very similar, to be very honest. Many of these altcoins are very, very similar. It can be similar in nature. Maybe the name is a little bit different. All right. Okay. So when we talk about tokens and so forth, tokens are usually created and given through a ICO, initial coin offering, and it's very much like a stock offering, but again, very much like not totally the same. They can be represented in value tokens, so you can put your ICO up and say, oh, I want to, maybe I want to have 100 Bitcoin as my soft cap. That can be done. It can be in the form of security token, STO, and then it can be in the form of utility or payment token. So there are a lot of such examples in the space. Whatever you can think of, most of them would fall under the utility token or payment tokens. While STO, to be very honest, is a very good term that is floating in the market. You know, in Singapore, many of us will say, oh, you know, we can list our project, you know, on the STO platform, you know, for example. So you will hear a lot of this, but again, going into the details are not so straightforward, you know. So that's again something that we can talk about later on. Yeah. So like American dollars or USD, you know, a token represents a certain value, but they are not exactly valuable themselves. You know, it is very much similar to the fiat currency. So what I usually want to say is that, you know, whether or not the value of the token is equates to whatever amount, it really boils down to the supply and demand. All right, it boils down to the supply and demand, and it also goes all the way back to look at the technology and how big the community and how strong the community are. You know, that will actually derive to the true value of a certain coin. Yep. Thank you. So again, we talk about some characteristics, you know, of the different coins and so forth, because it's a 101 session. You know, irreversible, permissionless, fast and global, secure, and the last bit is again a little bit subjective. You know, people do not know who you are. People will not know where your funds are coming from, so forth and so on. So all of
This
this
is where the regulators are worried about.
Correct.
Speed.
Correct. But the thing is, as we move along in the space a lot more, you will realize that it is not the most anonymous kind of transaction. You know, just as an example, you know, there are people who say that a lot of money laundering, for example, not sure if it's a taboo word here, is all done by Bitcoin, right, or through cryptocurrency. But statistics shows that it is actually perhaps US dollars, you know, according to a certain research. You know, the reason being is if you use a Bitcoin to do all these kind of transaction, illegal ones, everything is all on chain. You know, they can say that, oh, I put into a mixer and so forth, and then it's all go to different wallets and so forth. If someone want to trace it, if someone decides to cash it out, for example, there's always a trace. So again, is it really unknown? It's very subjective. All right. So next please. Okay, so we'll talk about investing into cryptocurrency or using the word buying cryptocurrency. You know, you can buy it very directly, you know, from exchanges, from friends and so forth. You can invest in the cryptocurrency through some cryptocurrency companies, you know, like Ethereum Foundation. Of course, they are not selling the tokens. You can buy it from the exchanges. You can invest in crypto-focused funds. All right. Then you could look at invest in crypto in IRA, and you can become a crypto miner or a validator. You know, so there's different roles that you can play in this whole ecosystem. You know, investing doesn't mean you just invest money. You can also be investing time. You can investing hardware. You can invest in infrastructure. So there's a lot of things that you can take part in.
Sorry, what is IRA?
I think it's more things like investment related products. I can't remember.
Investment related
Correct.
asset, is it? Or-
Correct.
It's an American term.
It's American.
IRA.
Individual retirement account.
Oh,
It's the same one.
So usually retirement funds and
A
things
lot
like that.
of
You mean?
terms have been used at different places.
Correct.
I just assume that's what they mean.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so it can be in funds and so on. There's a lot of
That's how you can.
different things. Like in Japan, you know, there are some retirement funds, for example. They are all being invested into like a pool of crypto. It's done in a retirement fund manner. So a lot of different plays right now in the space. Very creative. But again, invest with care. Don't use your retirement money for very high risk items. All right. Okay. So centralized and decentralized exchange. I think this is a thing that we kept hearing, you know, in the space. So we just separate them out. Yeah. So first one, centralized. Real people manage asset and services offered. All right. Actually, both are by real people. So users can earn interest and get loan from their digital asset. You know, like maybe you can stake your USDC, for example, and then you get a certain return annually. You know, and then CeFi or centralized finance platform are custodial. It's usually being jurisdicted in a certain country and within a certain company structure or foundation structure. All right. While decentralized, a lot of people will say that there's a lot of cowboy deals going on and so forth. But decentralized or DeFi usually is non-custodial. There's no company, there's no individual access to the funds, yeah, and then a lot of which the selling point is all automated. You know, the ideal scenario for DeFi is automation. You know, it is, if you look at the core function itself, it is very similar to what a CeFi can do or centralized finance can do. But in the more ideal world, it is decentralized, automated, and there's no single point of failure, right? So this is how decentralized should be like. Yeah. So centralized finance, if you look a little bit deeper, you know, it's a more holistic approach. You focus on maximizing the value of cryptocurrency. It is more flexible. You know, they provide a higher interest rate when depositing, and people are more assured, you know, when you are using a centralized finance. For example, if you today forgot your password, all right, in a centralized exchange or centralized finance model, you can give the customer service a call. Hey man, I forgot my password. Can you verify, just like a bank, verify, and then from there, get my account back, yeah? So centralized exchange, you can always do that. If there's an error in your transaction, right? If there's an error in your transaction, you can give them a call and rectify it, all right? So this is centralized finance. And then of course, a big one is where I am, there's crypto.com, you know, our friend is coming next week. We have the world leading Binance, and then of course we have KuCoin that is supposedly in Singapore. You know, so there are a lot of other exchanges. You know, there's Wabi, there's OKX, there's Coinbase, so many of them. There's popping up. Yeah. So typical services that you can see from a centralized exchange: spot trading. You know, AMM. Some of the exchanges will have a big one. The one that I'm chairing, we have an AMM function. You know, there's ETF, there's futures trading, there's staking, there's loan, and there are some very cool automated investment schemes as well. Yeah. So this is talking about how you register most of the time. You know, when you are with a centralized exchange, it's very straightforward, the process. So you click on sign up, then they'll ask you for your phone number. You know, some of them, of course, after phone number, you have to go through the different agreement. You got to agree on some terms and conditions, and then straightforward, they'll ask you, you know, are you someone new? If you're someone new, they will tell you some another story. You know, what you should know, what you should not do, and things like that. And if you already have cryptocurrency that you can straight away connect and transact, you just make a deposit. You know, it's very straightforward. Then centralized exchange, they will ask for KYC. All right, they will ask for different identification from you. So you got to do that so that you can transact, or you can do that so that you can transact more. Right? If you don't do the KYC, maybe you can just transact $100 a day, example, or $1,000 a day, depending on the exchange. After the KYC, they know who you are, you can do more. So straightforward basic information, country, your full name, your ID number is a must. Then we will do a facial recognition, you know, verify through your phone. And then you will need to take a copy of your passport. And then in Singapore, there's a signature copy as well. There's a passport, there's a signed page. Okay, next. Then after which you can just straight away log in, and then you can straight away do your trading. But of course, the verification is not immediate. You know, the back end people will verify. It could take up to 24 hours or even more, depending on the picture that you take. You know, they will ask you for further verification. where you could put your passport beside your face and then put a date, and then after that they verify you. All right.
HSBC annual update require you to hold your IC and then take a picture. And I recall my little niece, she takes her piano exam through video, right? She'll hold her so-called identity here and say, I am Elsa Wong taking one exam.
Yeah.
That's exactly what HSBC does it.
Is very, and in fact the system is very advanced. You don't think out of the box. I'll give you an example. We have colleagues here from Korea, from China. They would think that, oh, if I'm in Singapore, I have an EP, I have another card, right? Right? And then you try your luck. Use the EP one to do one, and then you use your original country passport to do one. Or maybe in Singapore you shave your head. Now, you think that this thing will not go through? No, they will detect that you're the same person. Because the facial recognition is very advanced to that state. And of course they have to track your IPs, they have to track a lot of other things to derive to the conclusion that, hey, you guys are the same guy, right? So let's not try to do that. And we want to keep the place safe. Next please, thank you. So same thing, centralized exchange password. You can use your email, you can use your phone number. Of course, your password, you need to have some special character and so forth. Then enable your touch ID, that's it. It's more straightforward. You can just go in and do your trading. Very straightforward. All right. Again, just now I mentioned about the basic KYC. It's just your passport, upload. And then next you go to fill up all your details. Okay. Again, it's the same thing, right? So once basic pass, you could do most of the thing. Not a format. Right? It's just a screenshot of that. And then when we talk about decentralized exchange, usually it's trustless, permissionless, can be verified by auditing the codes. Typically, no KYC. No KYC is needed typically, all right, for decentralized exchange of tax. It's designed to freely access to all parties, all funds, with little discrimination and limits. And of course, in some ways, it can be misused by wrong parties to conduct illegal transactions. But again, like I mentioned, whatever illegal transaction that you're trying to put forth is all recorded on chain. All right. So the more popular ones are, as such, Pancake Swap, Sushi. So Pancake is from Binance. Sushi is Ethereum, and then there's Uniswap, there's 1inch. So these are all the more popular decentralized exchange of tax in the space. So decentralized exchange type of services, for example, if you are looking from a Binance Smart Chain angle, you can do a very simple swap, USDT to Kick, for example, USDT to another currency. And then you can do there's a syrup pool, it's like a staking pool, and then you have yield farming. It is more of like staking as an LP. And then last but not least, there's a lottery as well. Again, it's on a decentralized exchange, so lottery seems to be okay, so that's how it is, So again, on a decentralized exchange, we start off with a Pancake Swap. It's easier to understand. It's also cheaper to trial and error, as compared to using a Ethereum-based decentralized exchange to do some transaction. Because maybe transacting a few dollars to Tau, I may need to pay a transactional fee of up to $50 maybe. So it's better if you're new. Look at Pancake Swap. It's very easy and straightforward. You can use it on your mobile. You have a mobile wallet. You can use it using a desktop wallet. And typically, these are all the more trusted brands or companies. All right, Trust Wallet, MetaMask, Token Pocket. These are all the more popular ones that are in the market. There are a lot of wallets. Wallets are very easily done. Some are non-custodian, some are just pure, just pure wallets. So it's very straightforward. These are the more trustworthy ones. You could always try new ones. There are a lot of others in the space. They offer, most of them offer both mobile and desktop functions. So this is a quick walkthrough on how you can access to decentralized exchanges using Metamask. Metamask is a very popular wallet or connector. All you need to do is just to open up the Metamask, select the network that you are going for. All right, it could be on the Ethereum network, for example. Select Ethereum, open up the window, and then you just connect. Very straightforward. Nothing too rocket science. Sometimes when your wallet didn't really connect to the right network, you might need to do a very manual keying in. But most of the time it's not necessary to do that. Yeah, as long as you're trading the more popular one. So then you browse you go to the Pancake swap website. You just click on connect, and then they will connect you to the wallet that you have selected or you have connected on your browser, for example. So it's very straightforward. So if you're on the app itself, also the same thing. No rocket science. Everything is on the screen. Connect to the wallet. Open up the MetaMask. There's a burger icon on the top left. Tap on the settings. In the settings, tap on the network, Ethereum, for example. Then tap on the network button at the bottom to add, and then you are already halfway through. The whole process. And then again, on the page itself, you on the right you will see all these details. You just confirm, and then you are ready to go. Very straightforward. So same thing. On the pancakeswap.com, you must make sure that you're on the right website. Make sure that you just click connect, and then your asset will be shown in the page itself. Very straightforward. No frills. No. Okay. So coming back to the basics of crypto wallets and so forth is there are a few kinds of wallet. A few other things that you need to take note of. All right. So when we talk about wallets itself, there's a private key, public key. There are a lot of things that you need to take note of. So if you lose your secret key, for example, you will not be able to retrieve back your account. All right. There are, of course, there are other ways, but typically when you create the account, whatever they ask you to take note of, just take note. All right. If not, once it's gone, you will never be able to get it back. It's crazy.
You must know where you put your things.
This is also
next to
next
you, so you forget, you will lose it.
So the basic things when we talk about this crypto and so forth is that the coin exists on blockchain and the wallet software. They interact with each other. So when we talk about wallet, I usually refer this to an independent wallet provider, not something from the exchange, not centralized. So your asset, I hope you select the right chain. It should be all on-chain asset, all right? And all your transactions that you have done are all on-chain, all right? So it is very straightforward, very safe. Whatever you have done is all there. There's no way that you say that I send $2 to John, for example. Then John say I didn't receive it, but I have the transaction codes to say that it is been sent. So a lot of things are very transparent. So the basic thing to do is just make sure that you get the right address. Send the right USDT, for example. Send the right USDT to the right network. Then he will be able to receive the money. So if today you are given a USDT account, then they say that, oh, I'm on ERC20. So you have to make sure that you transfer it to ERC20 network. If you transfer it to a TRC20 network or a BEP20 network, God bless. All right, you will never get it back. Actually, yeah, it depends. Most of it really depends. Sometimes if you're lucky enough, and then if it's all Ethereum based network, you can get it back. But if it's totally different, you can't get it back at all.
So if it's on a different network, then how?
You have to change. It's just like your own money, right? So you walk to the store, they only accept Singapore dollar, but you give them a Korean won, they will not be able to accept. Yeah.
But then you can still get it back, right?
Correct, but that one, because if you are talking about centralized exchange, example, yeah, when you send this across, they will say, hey, this thing doesn't.
You reject,
You reject, maybe it reject you, or when you call them,
sender.
they will be able to let you retrieve it back. But if you are in a decentralized network, wallet to wallet, yeah, it will be gone.
Gone.
Yeah,
Wow.
correct. So usually people are very strange. If you talk to them, they will say, oh, before we transact, I send you $10 first.
Test.
Test. But again, it depends on what network you are in. So if today you are on Ethereum network, I'm going to send you $10. That's good. But then you have to pay the transactional fee, $20. Are you willing to do that? Some people think that it's okay. Then it's a good deal, right? So just got to be careful about that. So these are some of the basic. There are hardware wallet, software wallet. Not very important to know. To be very honest, most of us do not bring hardware wallet. Who is going to use a hardware wallet? Even if you have hundreds of million, of course, maybe you would put some in the hardware wallet, but most of the time we don't use that. The keys that we have to remember or jot down is good enough, I think, in some ways, to keep the whole wallet secure.
So this is what we see in movies. They pass USB, this one got
USB.
That's hard wallet.
Yeah, very hard, that one. Very hard. You just imagine you lose the USB, example. That one, the 100 mil in one small thing is just gone, right? So it really depends on how you really look at it. Yeah. So we have mentioned about the web-based, the desktop and the mobile kind of a wallet. It's just very easy to understand. It's just the same wallet. You can use it on different, on different modes. So this is also, I think, 2101 already. Okay. All right. So just quickly go through how Token Pocket is one of the leading provider as well for wallets. All right. A lot of Chinese use this. A lot of foreigners use this. All right. Singapore, you don't use this because you cannot download it. But the function is still the same. You choose the network that you want. Then you create the wallet. Then don't worry. Then you create the wallet. Yeah. Okay. Then you create the wallet. You set the password. Password you also must remember, because this thing there's no reset password function. Forgot, then again the same word, God bless. Alright? Set password. Alright?
You better don't put that.
Correct.
Because you always told me for your password.
No, don't do that, don't do that. It's also not very secure.
No, it's very secure. The password is with me,
Okay. I hope next time I tap on the phone. Next.
You don't tap on your phone, it's a mobile physical password.
Tap on your phone.
I don't have it on my phone.
So okay, next, after this, they will give you another screen where you need to do a backup. You will give you a series of words and numbers. Just take note of it. Normally they say don't screenshot. Mine is a 1000% screenshot. It's not. I give you an example. My handwriting like really bad one. After I write down somewhere on a piece of paper, the paper might be gone, and maybe the handwriting not really that legible, also gone, right? So I do screenshot, But of course, don't do this. Bad example. Okay, next please. Then you memorize it, like that, no? This sequence, yeah. This one I will never remember.
Oh, that finish.
Sure finish one.
Sure finish.
Sure finish one. No need to think about it already. Alright, sure finish one. Then they say complete. You back up. You verify it. After you click the button, your friend send you the money. You say, just now the password is. But the good part about this is that the password you can try 1,000 times. Yeah, you will not lock you out. But trust me, if you trust, but if you try 1,000 times, means that you also never get it already. Because you have already used up most of the combination. Okay, so please do not screen capture it, but I will screen capture it. All right. Okay, next.
What nonsense? If you don't screen share it, how you remember that thing?
Write on a piece of paper. They will say do not screen cap. But this one.
It must be on the right spot somehow.
Oh yeah, it must be right spot.
The right names doesn't count. Must be on the right spot.
Yeah, the sequence must be correct.
Aiyo.
Right, sequence must be correct.
Sequence means
So police exchange with that also cannot.
Let's say it's like that. Then you must go with the sequence.
Oh.
Like
Yeah,
that,
when you
ah.
retrieve the password.
It's not that all this inside can already.
Cannot.
Cannot.
Worse than
Cannot.
oh,
Better give us zodiac, Chinese zodiac sign, so we know what it is.
This one,
After the
this
pig
one
is
is
the
like
dog, the dog is
memory
the-
game like that.
Very good.
The game can be quite expensive sometimes. The amount of money we lost on the wallets is also not very smart to disclose also. So it's like that. Okay. So please remember, if you want your money back, all right. Okay. Then when you copy, you want to you do your backup, you want to move your wallet to another phone, then you got to remember this, okay? Then created successfully. Then these are all the functions that you can see. All right. Next. Now it's a more hot topic, right?
So that is every time you change phone, you risk losing your wallet.
Yeah.
You can actually back up.
How to back up?
Sometimes also very difficult to tell you the exact steps, but just to let you know, the failure rate when you change your phone is actually very high. People will not remember. But many of us, you ask in a blockchain conference, how many of you have lost cryptocurrency? Everyone they will not say anything. But deep inside their heart, oh, that's painful. That wallet, I cannot find. It's true, Everyone will look very, very calm, tell you, yeah. All lost before, and trust me. So we go to the more interesting topic. All the coins right now are all going down, but you see NFTs are coming up.
Coins going down, NFT coming up.
Right. So NFT is a very creative way to interact and connect with everybody right now, actually. So many words. So straightforward is. It is actually a cryptographic asset on blockchain with a unique ID code and metadata to distinguish each one of them. The rest of this, to be very honest, are not very important. Most important is where is NFT centered around. Right now, at this current moment, you will see it, digital artwork, right? So a digital artwork, $60 million, right? I don't know how to value that, but then sports card, for example, if you Google my name, we are linked with Ronaldinho, the soccer player. We do sports cards with them, and then you have relatives. A lot of things that you think is rare. There's one uncle who is in Singapore, Coin Association. When we talk about coin, it's those that really, real coin, 1950 something coin, and then the notes, they want to do an NFT. I think that one is possible, really, really possible. But the thing is, if you talk to another collector, which is also uncle, and then you tell them about NFT, for example, they might not know what you're talking about, But I think in that circle, it is a very good industry to look at NFT. Because the things there are really limited. Not like some of the NFT artwork. Today, wow, this guy handshaking already, shake already. Last art piece, I tell you, swear to God. Then after you sell 1 million, tomorrow the guy with the shaky hand drew another one. God, again, that thing will be God bless. So these kind of things always happen in the space. All right. So just to be very simple, next. Wow, again, many words. So people like to say this, in the industry, is the NFT shift the crypto paradigm by making each token unique and irreplaceable. All right, because by nature it's a non-fungible asset, right? But if you look at it very deeply, the examples that I've quoted, they are just maybe phase one. Phase two, you can see things that are already happening right now, as if NFT can become a membership card, right? NFT membership, club, access card, possible, easy to understand. Then the NFT can also be used on your real estate title deeds, for example.
I want to do it on Chikong's house.
Can. This one you give me a call.
I got to take a photo and then I own it.
Only the photo.
Photo and I own it.
Title deed lah.
Oh, okay. This one we do. But the thing
Can
is,
sell him for 1 million.
all of us tell 5 we make it 5.
Hey.
That
You can
really-
take many photos.
No.
Different angle, then we sell to him.
Only one.
One every day for the last one.
No. Then you must have a very, very, very unique house and face. You know that guy who's most recently very famous with the.
You see, he like
Face.
that, you can take already.
So again, you know, NFT is a standable, is a combination
I will
of a
introduce
more
it
unique thing.
to- for dating purposes. How serious are you about me? You know, then I do every day buy NFT of me.
Okay, if you force your staff to do that,
No, dating, not stuff.
Oh, dating, ah.
Dating. 除非 you call somebody buy NFT for you.
This one also maybe can do.
Wow, hey, they say all this can do, you know.
Can do.
Wow.
Can do.
I think we ask the Ernest can take photos.
So these are the more
This kind of thing also can.
Oh, sure can. This kind of thing,
This kind
Sorry,
of
this kind of thing
People house definitely can.
can worth quite expensive. This whole pool here, you can buy maybe like that, maybe an Art Mall park. You know.
Up more park.
Yes.
The floor price is above 100 ETH now.
100 ETH. 1 ETH 4,000. We make simple math. So by that easily you can
It's
buy.
sold by square centimeter or millimeter. Like
big.
art, you know, art you sell
It's not by one face or
By one face, by one
One
face.
face,
At least they have not reached the
it's not
art
one
yet.
panel, one face.
One pixel.
Art is, you know, 1 square centimeter how much?
Can.
So
This
if
one
you
sell by
draw a
one-
big picture, a lot of white space behind, you also pay for that, you know.
Can.
It
How?
is too much balcony. You know, you imagine.
That means you have very big banner but only 4 faces.
No. So this CryptoPunk is the very first batch, limited edition. You know, so like Jenny has mentioned, it's
4,000.
100
40,
times 4,000
100
per face.
Per face.
Per face. All right. And this one, technically you can cut out the hair and then you sell. That one, that Tao was pointing, you cut out one piece already. Oh, I tell you, that thing cannot sell already. But this thing can sell.
So sell for what this one?
Sell for.
People buy for what this thing?
People buy because they are rich. Then they want to show people that they have this profile picture.
It's limited edition.
Very
Only
limited
like
edition, no?
10,000.
How many
10,000.
10,000 pieces?
Yes.
Correct.
I think 10,000 limited edition is a lot.
Not so, yeah, not so.
No,
yeah.
every piece is different. So today it can be this face, the other thing can be another face. Some of our friends, they have more than 10 pieces. And every day they change profile picture. Yeah.
Huh?
They can also use this as a merchandise. They can sell it on T-shirt. They can do a lot of things. You know, you have a lot of other things. So you have the bear one, you have the ape one, you have the people one, you have the random ones. You know, a lot.
Who create this thing first in the first place?
Anyone you can create them, no problem. As long as there are
Okay,
people
like-
buying. No, it's very easy to be famous one. You create one, you take a picture, ask Tao, hey, brother, hi, you buy this at 5,000 ETH. Is it okay?
Can.
If he say he's okay, then you are famous.
Just
already.
ask Roland and Tao to do this.
Can. Roland Tao.
Roland Tao, Roland Tao.
Just-
I'll be rich very soon.
Very soon, if they give you the buy and sell, also give it to you, you will be very, very fast. Yeah, but this is typically, I mean, this is a very dark side of things, you know. But
This
the-
is no different from the real world.
Oh, so this we talk about real world. This thing happen every day.
It's also
Yeah.
happen.
So
this
this
kind of
kind of concept, whether you are in the art market, you are in the stock market, this kind of things every day on. So people would like to say, oh, crypto is very dirty. No, no such thing. Everyone is dirty. No one is clean in the finance market. But the thing is, we got to do it nicely, You know, we got to do it nicely. You know, don't do something like today unknown. Then this thing sell at 50 million. Then it's very odd, right? You know, if you want to do this kind of gains, you got to do it in a progressively manner. All right, so next, this one don't see already because many people will not understand. You know,
Andy,
Hey.
digital to NFT, I understand, but from physical to digital NFT, how does it work? So there's a contract that sits behind, is it? If I want to.
physical contract.
So, I mean, there's talk about how some of these branded, Prada bag or Birkin bag, I want to have it NFT, right?
Yeah.
So how does
So,
that-
so there are many different ways to do it. So the first kind of thing is, I give you an example, artwork. So a specific artwork, one piece only. The artist commission the NFT studio to make an NFT version. So when they sell it as an art piece, they can sell the art piece physical one and the NFT digital one together. All right. So it's fair enough, right? Right. So one you
And both lah. You
correct.
own both.
You have both.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one model, very straightforward, right? So of course there are also other profit the middleman. For example, after they buy this, they say, hey, this digital one I make into 5 more color, red color, purple color, whatever color. That 5 you also can sell.
Oh, it's
You
a
know?
derivative lah.
Derivative, yeah.
It is very derivative driven. So that also can be done. Then when we talk about physical NFT, for example, like a Gucci bag, for example.
Physical and
Physical NFT.
NFT and the online one can split also lah, right?
Can.
No, split is just like a convertible. You split the conversion
Yeah,
and
and
the
the-
fixed
Right,
the
no?
coupon rate together.
Yeah,
You
the
fix it
coupon rate, you can
separate-
sell the coupon rate.
separately,
Yeah, that's
Different
also
strip lah,
correct.
you sell different strip.
But your
It's
Gucci
all
one,
from-
right now what you see is maybe you buy a particular bag, then maybe you NFT that bag, and then you have a serial number below, right? Let's say you bought maybe a Hermes or whatever you call. There's
The
a
Rosmar one
there's a serial number. You can that one. Yeah, but that one, so you can NFT that bag. Out of 10 in the world, you got 1 of them, right? This is a very, to be honest, this is very low end NFT.
Yeah.
Low
Yeah,
end
very low end already. But the real thing is this. Right now, when we talk about brands, today I bought maybe a Gucci bag, very nice pink color one. The next step you will see is that pink color bag is actually on the Metaverse. Right, then it's a different NFT. Right, you go into the Metaverse, that lady got this Gucci bag. Then the 2 characters meet each other at the Metaverse, right? Hey, my wife want to buy this. Can we trade at 5,000 ETH? Straight away, you sell, straight away you make.
So it's a metaverse.
So you sell the physical one or the NFT
No,
one?
sell the NFT one. No,
NFT
next time
one.
don't have physical one already. Like I said, very low end. You
Last time don't carry bag,
Yeah,
carry
you-
token.
you
If
ship
you're
the.
seeing your avatar carrying an NFT in
Correct.
Metaverse.
Oh, your avatar carry it, but you only carry the coin in your
Sustainable,
wallet, your
don't
handphone.
shoot the-
Right.
Yeah lah, you don't even have a handbag to put this thing.
Correct.
Oh,
So you see,
yeah.
everyone must buy a handbag, right, in the Metaverse? Right, so Arthur was asking me, hey, so what thing to invest?
If you are working in a
Got to invest things like that. These are
Let's set up
innovative.
the NFT handbag designer saloon.
Tau edition.
Yeah, then after that,
Okay.
then everybody just go buy, just like buying photographs from
Correct.
on the web,
Yeah, so one of the Korean company that is now on UPC, right? They're actually doing this, not bags lah, but they're doing clothing. So they're partnering designers.
No, I know the one where
private designers.
you get the real one and the
And
metaverse
Metaverse
one.
one, and the Metaverse can be more than one, so you
Oh,
can
you
sell
get-
10.
you
Then
get the real,
you can get the real one,
real, and then you get that one on.
and you get the tokens. Then tokens can be sold, and then this token will circulate in the Metaverse.
Can change color lah. Then.
Cannot, they only give you one color, so cannot. You change color means you buy another one.
Yeah, you buy more, don't worry, you got 5,000 ETH already. For the deal. So that one you don't need to worry, but as things goes really interchangeably, when you talk about game asset,
Yeah.
it also can be done. You just imagine you're on Fortnite, just hypothetical. On Fortnite, the fella is a shooting game, example. Then he could be carrying a Gucci purse as well. Looks strange, right? But the thing is, these are the things that differentiate you from each player. So in-game asset can also be interchangeably done in that manner. All right. So there's a lot of creativity in the space. So we go next first because these slides are sometimes quite boring. All right. So NFT. 90% of the digital asset has been created on an ERC 721 token on the Ethereum network. The more popular ones that you know is Axie, Cyberpunk, and so forth, right? So this one also no need to know because really not important. This 101. Okay, next. But of course you can read it later on. So another rising star, this Solana, very much rising star, one of the fastest blockchain, currently. Again, it depends on how you look at it. Mentioned
Solana
before.
is just on NFT.
No, Solana is a chain. It's a chain on its own.
Correct, but it's just NFT type blockchain.
No.
No,
It's
everything.
not anything.
Yeah. It can be payment, it
Can
can
be
be anything, whatever you can think of.
It's an alternative to whatever is in the
Correct.
market.
So it's built on a layer 1 solution, and then it can be deployed on different networks. So next. Again, when you talk about NFT, you need to have NFT wallets. You need to have wallets that are NFT friendly. So that you can retrieve the data, you can buy the asset, you can give it to your friend. This is how the NFT wallets are typically done up. NFTs wallets are very popular. It can be a browser extension, it can be mobile. It can be set alongside with different extension on the web. So again, it's very straightforward, like what I've mentioned. Next, we have this Coinbase wallet as well. Just to let you know, the functions are all more or less the same. It's okay. And then you have a Trust wallet. It's another popular wallet for NFT collector because they are much more friendly. And then it's fine, don't worry. And then the marketplaces, right now in the space, there are quite a few. I will walk through a few marketplaces as we move along. It's okay. Marketplaces are typically places where you can create, buy, sell. You can create your asset. It become a place where you could interact with all the users in the marketplace. OpenSea, which is I think is the current leader in the NFT market. They let you buy and sell, let you offer your NFT, add on a royalty onto the NFTs. A lot of things can be done on OpenSea, since they are the most popular ones. Then there's Reliable, very similar to NFT. They are doing things like video, art, music, kind of NFT. But however, unlike OpenSea, you need to use the marketplace's own token, which is called RER, to buy and sell in the space. So again,
So it's a utility token.
Correct, utility within this is within the Ethereum blockchain. Next. Then again, you have this Solana art. Very soon, there will be a Chronos art as well. Chronos. Next week, our friend from crypto.com is going to come by. I don't think he will promote Chronos, but that will be another new chain that is in the market that is heavily funded. All right, so which means from an investment standpoint, it's a place where you could make some good investment. All right, so SOL Punks, Degen, Ape Academy, these are some of the more popular one and maybe more of like a flagship within that ecosystem. All right. And then we have Magic Eden. It's an NFT made NFT marketplace or platform made on the Solana network. Again, this is just another maybe good thing to talk about. It's just another marketplace. All right. So next, Metaverse is Metaverse. It was from a sci-fi movie. It got a little bit more talked about in 2011 as a novel, really game one, online. And this one, him. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. So Metaverse is more like a bridge between the virtual world and the real world. All right, and that bridge itself, we can really mimic what you see in the real life and what you see in the virtual. All right, it can be very much mixed together.
So it's a meeting place.
Sorry?
Is it considered a meeting place between the real world and the...
It can be. It can be. It can be a virtual place.
Yeah, virtual machines or virtual
within the virtual.
Yeah.
That means meeting place in the virtual.
If COVID-19 continue, and then I think Metaverse could be a good place for all of us to meet, you know. So again, we got to really depend. So Metaverse, common myths, Metaverse is about cryptocurrency, closely linked with VR and AR. All not true. The Metaverse is not about cryptocurrency. It can be in the non-cryptocurrency environment. Closely linked with VR, AR. There's some link, but not so close. You know, so we just got to be very mindful about that. Next, please. The truth is there are many aspects of to this whole Metaverse, right? There are technology element and then the cryptocurrency element, right? Of course, in the Metaverse, you can also transact using e-money, right? Not necessarily crypto, but of course, Metaverse become one of the place where we do a lot of interaction, you know, in the Metaverse instead of doing it in the real world. Then we think, most of us from the crypto space, we think that cryptocurrency will be the currency, you know, within that kind of space.
Brandon, sorry, for tomorrow, Brandon, sorry, just to. 我也是听不到。
Suing.
Hi, Suing. Okay, so next we will just go a little bit faster. Metaverse let you interact, let you earn money. You could lead a second life there. You know, you can have a strong community there. You can have your own gallery there. You know, whatever that you can earn, you know, can be brought out to the real world. So the connect point could be cryptocurrency. All right, that's the only that's the only thing.
People who are less mobile can actually go to Metaverse and actually be like any one of us. So everything is square. Someone with less good eyesight, mobility, everything.
Yeah, it really can be.
That would be the.
But the thing now is.
Full utility value to bring this as the way forward, so that you know all these groups can mix together. Even for our sports, you know, why should we have para and non-para Olympics? Put them all together in the
True.
Metaverse.
True, that's
So
really
if
possible.
so important thing for all this is you must choose the right use case at the very beginning.
So I think Metaverse, there are many Metaverse. A lot of them are not really connected. You know, there are different kind of concept for Metaverse. Some of them they want to be 100% private. You know, but there's another group of people in the Metaverse is you need to verify yourself. Like the same town can only appear here. You know, so everyone is KYC. You know, that is also
You
another.
cannot be 5 Metaverse at the same time. That means distracted now. Attending physical meeting, doing your BlackBerry, doing your handphone, you know. Yeah, so in one place only we can be. Otherwise there'll be this explosion of population.
So Jenny, is it?
Like last week I saw a news. Even animals are now in Metaverse. The cows, they are wearing the VR. They are at the animal farm, but they think they are running on a green field. So they can produce more milk. So the cows, they are actually in Metaverse because they are wearing those VR glasses. Yeah.
So they put that into the cows, and the cows will be stimulated to grow more meat, you know. It means grow faster lah. You
That's
don't
good.
need steroid, you know.
But they will have bad eyesight, the cow. So
Animals.
Metaverse right now the current leader, you know, is Decentralized and Sandbox. The rest of it, the only thing to highlight is both platforms, they govern themselves through DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. All right, this is another concept that we will talk about. So again, I think we left about 20 minutes, so I'll do this really quickly, and then we can have a bit of question and answer. You know, so Decentralized has about 90,000 parcels of land. There are a lot of things that are developing on Decentralized, and you will see more in the nearer future where all the pieces of land are being built. Right now, nothing much.
That's why we say we just get out a piece of land and then you are the one who put in all the infrastructure and everybody, all your friends will buy now. So you say, let's meet, you know, so if you are really a charmer or something, everybody will meet Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett should start out real estate.
Yeah.
I'm living in this virtual real estate.
Come and meet me.
Then everybody will buy the houses around it, you know, and then there are limited number of houses.
Yeah, it's true.
Correct? And then after that, every day I'm in the meta world from what time to what time. Then you go there and meet him, you go and talk to him.
Yeah. There are people that are really doing it, like Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg
I
and
think
so forth. Yeah.
in Asia, who does it? Is it
Asia.
one of the guys? And then a lot of the
Adrian
friends-
Ching lah, Tom.
Adrian Ching, oh yeah.
This is Sandbox, yeah.
Henry
Ching.
Ching.
No,
so
yeah,
right.
this is Sandbox, yeah.
It's in Sandbox,
Okay. So I think I would just quickly.
Andy,
sorry.
question,
So
Andy.
the Metaverse, the use case is more, at least in the initial years, would it be fair to say it will be more in gaming, entertainment, rather than business cases?
I think very early days, you know, it can be more of a game environment, right? But right now, things have changed, you know, because there are specialized people, crowd, communities that are in the metaverse. Big brands are actually advertising there. You know, now it's more of advertising. You see the billboards, right? You see some big brands who say, "Oh, we are going to metaverse," right? But they have not reached the state where I gave the example about the pink Gucci bag, for example. They have not reached that case yet. But sooner or later, you know, it can become a virtual classroom. You know, I'm talking to a MMA fighter in Australia, right now the champion. They want to build a boxing school, you know, a martial arts school, you know, within the metaverse. Use that as a place where people interact, they meet, and they learn a skill. You know, I know of universities that are venturing into metaverses, you know, because the online classes are quite boring. You know,
exchange now.
so the metaverse itself for the school, it will be a better teaching environment, you know, for them.
Especially during the breaks,
Correct.
You know, instead during the breaks, take toilet break, go and get water, they're in the metaverse, you know, talking to each other, socializing.
Correct. And the kids are more, or the youngsters are more open to be in metaverse. They think that it's very cool, right? Versus, hey, I'm going for remedial class, I got to go back to school, stay there 5 hours. You know, the kids will be very upset. You know, even for university students, they think it's a waste of
I think
time.
you need that to adopt it for us who fail IPPT a few times and go through metaverse.
See yourself, right?
Fail IPPT, and we do it in metaverse. This one we will talk to the minister for approval. But I think apart from those physical stuff, everything that is more paper, soft skills, all can be done there. You know, really a lot of things can be done there. As things progresses, you know, even things like surgery, you know, for example, it can be mimicked in the environment. But now the technology is not there yet. You look at a lot of metaverse, a lot of things are not that real, you know. So again, you know, the conversation we had during breakfast is, you know, whether it's going to be metaverse or blockchain, right? If the concept is shitty, you add in the blockchain element, it will still be shitty, right? If today I give you an example, we talk about STO project, you know, a lot of family office, you know, or banks, they call me and ask me. My scenario to them is very straightforward. Today, if your STO product is at Ion, this Orchard Residence, easier, right? But if your STO plot of land is in Cambodia, the Cambodians look at it also scared, didn't buy. They fractionize it and then sell it to Singaporean on the STO exchange. Who's going to buy it? No one is going to buy it. Will you dare to buy? I will not dare to buy. You know. So, and then after buying it, you know, again using the blockchain technology, they say they're going to fractionize it. Okay, no problem. But then if this is a security, a home, which means there's not much trading volume, right? So there's no real GDP per se, you know, to share. And then the last part is, since there's not much trading, there's no liquidity, then why do you need to do that? You know, you must as well fly to Cambodia, you like, oh yeah, maybe you cannot buy the whole plot of land, but you can buy the apartment that you want. You just buy the apartment. Why is there a need to fractionize it? So So again, the concept for this, you know, for usability or for blockchain per se, you know, talk about blockchain investment, is many people look at the utility, right? For example, a piece, maybe a bottle of water, you know, you can track the bottle of water. Yeah, what you are tracking is the casing of the bottle, but when you open up, you pour away the water, you have a way to put it back in. Can you still ensure that this bottle of water is authenticated? There's no way you can do it. All right. So when people want to invest in technology, invest in blockchain technology per se, you have to find the real utility behind it. All right. You don't look at projects because you like the person or you like the backer. You know, you are most probably be the next one who take over that high valuation, right? And these are the things that we are trying to avoid. You know, so these are things when we talk about traditional and crypto or blockchain merged together, you know. But then there are other projects like a meme project, for example. You know, meme projects, the kind of value that I see is community. If you have big user base, whatever utility that you bring up, NFT marketplace, payment, for example, these are all good utility. Utility means people are using it. But right now in the space, you know, in Singapore, I met someone as well. They come out with a meme coin. Maybe they have about 5,000 followers. And then they say they have all these features. And then they are trying to sell to the investor, some auntie uncle as well, saying that, hey, this have utility. If you're going to buy now, next time you will see this growth, that growth, this growth. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. But the thing is, all these are not utility yet. So when you want to buy a certain token, you have to be more careful. You know, don't be enticed by their sales talk. You know, look at it yourself. Whether that 5,000 people is a real community or not. Whether or not the marketplace, for example, is it really working? You know, if all these are not working, there's no need to really look at investing or even buying a token. You know, because you are buying air. And those are, I consider the more bad actors in the space that is putting up a different front, you know, for investor, and then putting up a separate front for the community. You know, so again, it goes back to investing in the value. You know, what do you define as a value? What do you define as not a value? You know, so these are some of the things to share. You know, the PowerPoint, I think I've already done it. You know, if you have any questions, there's I think a small 10 minutes window right now. We can talk about anything that you have in mind.